Welcome back to another episode of the You Betcha Radio podcast. We are the coldest podcast in all the Midwest. I'm Miles, You Betcha guy, here with T-shirt guy, camera guy, and the glass man behind the glass.
Everyone's favorite character.
We are presented by Ice Mountain, and we are back, and we are live, and we are here and ready to roll.
Do you guys notice
Hell
that?
yeah, we are.
You guys ever notice that?
Notice what?
The audience. They're all pretty 50-50 on me and Ryan. They're about 70-30 on Miles. 100% of people that have ever listened to this podcast love Jared.
Yeah, I've never seen someone comment and be like, God, that Jared guy's really a fuck.
No one has ever.
I mean, also speak for yourself.
He's-
on my percentage.
He's
Yeah, I was going to say.
honestly, Ryan, our percentage might be lower than that.
Again, speak for yourself.
No, I
Stop.
run the numbers.
I'm 31. You don't need to talk to me right now.
You're getting old.
I can't imagine why people would be even 50-50 on you guys.
I'm at least 60-40, I feel like.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it I bring onto myself, though, too.
You think?
And I'm fine with that.
Hey, this segment's about Jared and how much people love him.
What's like a celebrity that's beloved by any person? You
Morgan
know,
Freeman?
Morgan Freeman.
Morgan,
Yeah.
You are Morgan Freeman,
Yep.
by the way. I've never met a person who's like, there's something off about that Morgan Freeman guy.
I'd say
I really don't fucking grinds my gears.
I'm more like a Tom Brady. Like, you either fucking hate me or you love me. And again, I think it all depends on the day.
Hey, love you or hate you is still an obsession. Right?
Yeah, that's right. That's
Love
right.
me or hate me, all you could do was watch.
Yeah. Man in the arena.
Yep.
which is
It gets
ironic.
me jazzed up though. YBR every week. It's why I come back.
It sometimes feels like, though, Ryan, you're trying to get more people to hate you than love you. I wish you'd err a little bit more on the trying to get people to love you.
See, I'm not going to pretend to be someone I'm not though, because then it just comes off as ungenuine, disingenuine,
Disingenuous.
Yes.
disingenuous.
Yeah, why
So-
isn't it just disingenuous?
People definitely don't love me
Yeah.
for my vocabulary. That's for sure.
No.
Because my
Half of them do.
yeah.
again, it's
Some love you, some hate you. I'd say it's about 50-50.
Okay.
Well, that being said, Ryan, glad to have you on.
It's good to be back
Thanks
here.
for stopping by
again.
Yeah, I feel about 50-50 on having you on today.
Coin flip.
So I was thinking about, me and Ann have spent a little more time together than we normally do in the last month or so. And I was thinking about something the other day, and it kind of led to the thought that there's a lot of stuff that women don't know about us men.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe they do know, they just didn't realize it. And then they go, oh, yeah, that makes sense. And one thing that I was thinking about is men crave reactions from women.
God, you couldn't have said that any better.
So they think like, if I say something out of pocket when I'm with a group of friends and Ann doesn't get mad at me for saying that,
It's wasted.
it feels like she doesn't love me anymore. Why didn't you get mad at that dumb thing that I said? Do you not care anymore? Are we getting a divorce?
And like the reaction doesn't have to be big. It just has to be a reaction.
Right. If I get hammered and she's not mad that I'm hammered, what's going on?
Right. Why am I hammered?
Right. If I have a wedding coming up with a college buddy and
You're
some
marrying
other,
a college buddy?
Congrats, dude.
I have my college buddy's wedding coming up
Okay.
and some other college buddies are going to be there. And Ann and she's not going to be there because it's out of town and we got the new kid. She didn't want to go, which rightfully. But she's really worried about if I'm going to get too drunk that I'm not going to be able to walk home,
Yeah.
And if she wasn't worried about me succumbing to associative regression to the nth degree, I would be like, do you still love me?
I think, honestly, if she said no, then you're more likely to do it. Like if she was like, oh yeah, do whatever, have fun with your buddies. I don't care how drunk you get.
I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, you would be so frustrated.
But if she came home with an air tag being like, hey, I need you to keep this in your pocket at all times in case you get so shit-faced you get lost.
It's like this weird, oh, she really cares about me. She I don't know. It feels good.
Well, like, and this is a weird, it's not a flex. It's just Becca lets me do whatever I want. It's like,
Not to fucking brag.
Yeah. And it's like, sometimes I want her to be like, no, you can't do that.
Yeah, it's like come on. There's a fine balance, right? You want the freedom to feel like you can do whatever you want. But once in a while, if she gives you flack about going golfing with your buddies, you kind of enjoy that. And you're like, oh, she cares.
The ball and chain.
Yeah, you like, we have a weird, it would weird if it was just a chain and there was no ball.
Right. Like, we were in the delivery room and I was in the group chat with my buddies. They're like, hey, we got a tea time today if you want to come. Like, haha, really funny. I'm going to record myself asking Becca if I can go golfing right now.
Yeah.
And I recorded it, and it was like the first time she's like, no, you cannot. And it felt good.
Hell yeah.
I was like, there it is.
It's not because it didn't feel good to make them mad. It feels good that they care.
Yeah, right. She wanted me there.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's also fun annoying them too that way.
That's true.
I mean, annoying your significant other that's like peak life.
Yeah.
If you're just having like filler conversations, then what's going on?
Yeah, it's like your sibling, right? If they aren't trying to annoy you, you're going to be like, what's wrong?
The meaning of life is having reactionary conversations. It's like, I'm saying this because I want to get a reaction. That's me 100%.
Not 50-50.
Not 50-50.
And
100%.
tell the audience what you've been doing to try and get a reaction out of your wife, namely the blanket on the end of your bed.
Oh, yeah. That's great.
Oh, yeah. So we have this, what do they call it? Boudoir or a duvet?
A duvet. A
boudoir is a photo shoot.
That's sexy undies.
Yeah. Okay. We have this duvet at the end of the bed.
Well, duvet would be the whole like comforter. It'd be a duvet cover. Duvet. So you just have a blanket.
We have we have a decorative blanket that isn't used for covering up at night at the end of the bed. And when I make the bed in the morning, I'm so fucking sick of this thing that I just don't even fold it anymore. And this went on and on. I'm like, and she's like, I've noticed over the last couple of months that you kind of gave up on the blanket.
And it felt good that she recognized that and reacted.
For sure.
But so now Ryan taking it a step further.
Yeah. So now what I'm doing is I've been kind of manipulating this blanket into different designs on the bed to get a reaction out of her when she gets home and sees it. I put it in the shape of a dick the other day. And it was actually, I said it to you guys, it was pretty good. And then we have this long pillow. The head pillows look like two eyes. And then the long pillow I laid out for the mouth. The blanket I put out for the mouth, and the long pillow I used as kind of it looked like a doobie. Yeah. So it looked like the Kool-Aid man was smoking a doobie on the bed. It was awesome.
And what's her reaction to that?
She gave me a reaction with the dick on the blanket, but now after that, she's not giving me one. So she's not giving me what I want.
You gotta step your game up.
I know. But I can only do so much. I can only do so much stuff. I might have to twist it into a pretzel. I think that will maybe get a laugh out of her. But yeah, the blanket's still there, so I'm not doing a good enough job. I thought the Kool-Aid man thing was the kicker,
right? But you felt more love when she gave a reaction about the dick than no reaction out of the Kool-Aid doobie brother.
For sure.
Blanket doobie.
For sure. You could see the smile just coming onto my face. Good God.
Okay, so she's
for the dick or the Kool-Aid man?
Yeah. What is it? Was it the Kool-Aid man's dick?
What was it? What
was it? The Kool-Aid man's dick?
No, I probably would have needed a blanket double the size.
That's next.
Yep. Yeah. Maybe I should tie dye the blanket. It's a white blanket. I should tie dye it. It's actually not a bad idea.
That would for sure get a reaction.
Yeah, then the blanket would go in the garbage for sure.
Yep.
So yeah.
Yeah. I think the way to boil this one down to is that all of men's love language is just reactions to the dumb stuff that they do.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you go, why do men do dumb stuff? To get a reaction so they feel loved. Mm-hmm. And that's what it's about.
Yeah, and sometimes I try and get reactions at like 6:30 a.m. and it's just not. You gotta pick. I mean, just be smart with.
I try to get a reaction.
And that goes back to last week's conversation about, you have to slap your wife's ass when you pass her.
Mhm.
You're looking. The ones you get reactions on, it's a little bit sweeter than the ones that you don't.
Mhm.
So, Ryan.
Yep.
You know what's something my wife does know about me?
I mean, I could probably guess, but go ahead and tell us.
I am the number one fan of Ice Mountain in the world.
Your body's 99% Ice Mountain.
I'm actually going to see if Ice Mountain will give me a plaque that says that I'm the number one fan.
The Ice Mountain should start doing like the YouTube plaques for subscribers,
Yeah.
like 100,000 bottles drank or
Yeah.
something like that. I mean, you would have the gold one, 1 million bottles drank.
Butters.
Am I at 1 million now?
Probably pretty close.
I mean, if I had to guess, this might be your millionth.
That if
Are
I
we
drank a
witnessing?
million, if I drank 1 million bottles of water,
It'd be at least 12 million ounces.
it would be, I'd have in a year, if let's say I drink 1 million in a year, I'd have to drink 83,333.33 repeating bottles of water each month. You divide that by 30. How many would I have to drink a day?
What's the big number?
I mean, you just do 1 million divided by 365.
By 365. 2,739 bottles a
A
day.
day.
To
Which
drink in a
I
year.
think is
Easy,
doable.
dude.
I'm already at like 1,050.
It's also a marathon, though. It's not. We don't need to call it a sprint. You got to be hydrated from the day you're born to the day that you die,
From
That's
top
true.
to bottom.
from top to bottom.
Yeah.
Inside and out.
Hydration takes no days off, too. That's what I heard.
No, I mean,
Mhm.
yeah,
You heard
and
right.
dehydration is undefeated. Also,
That's true. It's like
dehydration and the sun are the only two
Hey,
undefeated
those-
things on planet Earth.
Those two work together a lot.
Half of my entire being is keeping dehydration at bay. And what better way to do that than with Ice Mountain?
And then with a mountain.
With a mountain of ice that then gets melted down from a cataclysmic event into an aquifer and then bottled and given to you.
I had a high school buddy the other day who I talked to every 2-3 months, just sent me a snap from the golf course with a gallon of Ice Mountain, said, got that thing on me.
Yeah.
Boom.
It's the most important.
He's keeping dehydration
He
at
is.
bay.
He is.
Maybe that's their new campaign. Keep the dehydration at bay.
Mhm.
Drink Ice Mountain. So guys, got to do it. Go to icemountainwater.com and keep that dehydration at bay.
Just do it.
Things that women don't know about men. I feel like that they would know this by now, but we are actually shitting the whole time that we're in the bathroom. We're not. I mean, and I'll speak.
We're not shitting you.
Yeah.
We're not shitting you. I'll speak for a large audience of us men that the entire 20 minutes, their substance coming out.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's not actively coming up, but we know there's more to
Correct.
come.
That
Yeah.
that's the biggest thing.
well,
Yeah.
I mean, you got to take into account the grace period you must get after you think you're done because there may be a second wave. You know what I
100.
mean?
There's always a second wave.
I mean, I'm going to be completely honest. There are a few times where I've stretched it out maybe a little extra 2-3 minutes.
You just forget where you're
Couple
at.
Yeah.
And then you're like, you start feeling your legs tingle. You're like,
Yeah.
okay, I just forgot where I was at.
But-
I got to get up.
Like Miles said, that's really just to make sure I'm done.
100%, Tyler.
Yeah.
A lot of times I'm not done.
Don't want to get up, job not finished.
Well, and
Yeah.
also when they think about us pooping,
Which I'm sure they do
do
often.
a lot. They do, they don't factor in wiping time.
Mhm.
And sometimes it's like wiping a brown marker, and that takes time.
It does. Yeah, I mean, a couple dingleberries. They get,
And
after
you
20
can't start wiping right away because if there's a second wave,
You're just wasting paper.
it's like when a wave hits the shore or a tsunami hits the thing, it's not about the first wave. It's about when it drags everything back into
sure.
the sea.
Yep.
And that's sometimes there's a drag back into the sea, a second round of pooping, and then you did all of that time wiping the first time that you then have to do all over again, and it's useless.
Yeah, the second wave, it's more than just a courtesy wipe. It's a full on tsunami.
Courtesy wipe.
Yeah, so if
If you guys ever had a time where it's so bad and you do catch a break, right? Like if there's a bad, like the eye of the storm, right? So you have the hurricane coming, and then there's the eye of the storm, and there's a little break to help yourself for the second half of the storm. Do like a halftime wipe just so the mess isn't as bad later. Have you guys ever done that?
No, I haven't, but I can understand why some people would do that.
Well, it's the Zamboni effect. Right?
Yeah.
In between periods, the Zamboni cleans the ice.
Well, yeah, you gotta get it while it's liquified versus solidified.
You can't let it
kind of
dry
like,
on there.
I mean,
No.
it's kind of like doing the dishes as you cook. You know,
Yep.
it's not as much to clean up after the fact.
That's a great point.
And that's why the whole 20 minutes, I'm just constantly flushing.
For sure. Yeah, I mean the water hasn't even the tank hasn't even filled up all the way before I have to flush again.
I got to start trying that as it's coming out, flushing, so it just never is in the toilet.
Yeah, well, and then especially if you're a graffiti artist, like some of us may be, it's not you're not gonna have to clean the bowl after the fact.
Yeah.
That's a
For
good
those
point.
graffiti artists out there.
Yeah.
Banksy.
I got one thing that women don't know about men. We don't actually scratch our nuts. It's more of like a pinch and a roll situation.
Yeah, it is, Tyler. Yeah, it is.
It's
That is very true.
Yeah.
I've never went like this.
Yeah, you just can't do it.
Well, and there's too much shit. Like it's
The skin is too pliable.
Yeah.
yeah.
You know,
If you were to try and scratch it, your hand would just move on one
Correct.
spot. It wouldn't scratch the surface. So
Wouldn't scratch the itch.
it's a grab the itchy spot and then roll it sort
it's
of deal.
like a pinch
Yes.
and roll situation, kind of like a stop, drop, and roll, but a stop, drop, and pinch and roll situation.
Yeah. That's a really good point. I've never thought of that before.
Yeah, I mean it's a very satisfying itch to roll, I guess. One of the most satisfying
itch to
itches to roll. And that's the only
That's
spot
clever.
on
I will sometimes do that with like, have you ever like done that with your knuckles? Like the skin,
or like grab right here and do it.
yeah, and like
Mhm.
do that there because it's kind of the same style of skin.
Weird thing, if like my finger itches, I scratch it with my teeth.
I sometimes do too.
I think that's a weird thing for me to do, but I do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think that they do the same pinch and roll technique with their hoochie coochie?
Their labia minora.
Yeah, I would love to know. Any sisterhood of the traveling
Yeah.
comments?
GM.
Let us know, Patreon.
Do you even get itches down? I mean,
I'm
does it even-
sure.
Are you kidding? Isn't that why the douchebag was invented?
I thought the D bag was for cleaning purposes.
I think it's an internal deal. I'm pretty sure.
I don't know. All I know is if there's any itching or scratching going on.
Let's
it's not
all
good.
ask our wives tonight and report back next week.
Well, yeah. A little homework.
Investigative research.
Does it ever get itchy down there? And
I
how
think
do you
there's
scratch it?
probably less itchiness than a sack of balls.
Mhm.
But
Because that was another one that I thought of. A thing that women don't know about men is if you ever see us walk funny, we're most likely just getting our nuts to stop sticking to the side of our legs.
oh yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta like throw the boxers up in between the leg
Mhm.
and the
Get some separation.
Well,
going.
that's just
Strody.
why I wear whitey tighties.
I understand why they wore whitey tighties now.
Yeah.
Because especially you got 90 degree heat.
I don't run into it as much with boxer briefs now, but like in middle school, high school, when I wore strictly just boxers,
Hmm.
I mean, that era of underwear had to have been the stickiest era of all underwear.
Yeah, but it was cool to have your flannel boxers sticking out of the top of
Sticking
your
out, yeah.
pants. You know,
That was also really dumb.
not looking back on it now is the dumbest thing.
It was sick though. But every once in a while, your boxers would ride up too bad and be like, well, you're wearing a thong. That
Yeah.
happened to you?
Yeah,
God.
you like when
Yeah.
you like lift your shirt up, you couldn't even see your belly button because the waistband was above them. You know,
and they were like the size of shorts people wear now too. They were
Big time.
huge.
they're like 5-inch inseam,
Yep.
little pocket out front.
Yeah.
I would say another thing that women don't know about men is that I feel like every man has a stash of something somewhere.
Mm.
Not a mustache, but a stash. Whether that is I don't know, their nicotine stash or a cash stash or some other substance type of stash out in the shed or something like that.
I'm trying to think. I don't want to disclose what my stash, or where it is.
And you have a stash, but here's the thing: no, they'll never know where the stash is at because, as guys, we're the garage and the shed and all of those places that don't get visited a whole lot, like the main house does.
Mm-hmm.
We know all the ins and outs of that area.
So
I
don't really have a stash of anything.
Do you, Tyler?
I do. I've had.
Is it nudie mags?
Yeah, I keep all my Playboys under the mattress.
Under the mattress.
No.
Next to my money.
No one's checking under the mattress.
No. That's actually where I found my first nudie mag ever. I was just in my room. At my grandparents' house. My uncle was coming to stay, and my grandpa had put a stack of nudie mags in between the mattress, and I was like making the bed for him, and I found him like, this is fucking sweet. This is way better than Googling Pam Andy's boobies.
Time out. Your uncle was going to stay at your grandpa's.
Yeah, so I had a room at Grandma and Grandpa's,
No,
and
I know.
his brother was coming to stay over.
I know. So it would be like in the future, your son, Charlie, is coming to stay with you as an adult, and you gave him a stash of porno mags for him to look at while he's staying at your house.
It would be like him giving them to his brother because it was a brother to brother.
So your great uncle then?
Yeah. Sorry, great uncle.
Still,
it was, and he did it as like a funny joke. He's like, haha, here you go, buddy. Because he's like the single sibling that was old.
Okay.
But I found him.
I thought you said your uncle, so it'd be like he was giving his kid nudie mags.
That's on me.
To enjoy in his household.
Yep.
It's crazy.
That'd be a wild discovery.
Would be. Yes.
Do you guys so you know how like you go too far one way, it then swings, people do the opposite?
Mm-hmm.
So like I'm trying to think of a good example of that. I think tits and boobs, right? So like early 2000s, it was all boobs. Mm-hmm. And then it went all ass. And at some point it's going to swing back to boobs again, right? Porno has got to be the same way.
You think magazines are coming back?
Like magazines and VHSs or DVDs. I feel like there's going to be a wave, like, maybe our son's generation, they'll be watching it. It's like, oh, I have unlimited access, but actually the good stuff is the stuff you got to go to the store and rent. Like, you could see that
walk through the swinging Western doors.
It's kind of like, like musicians now, they like announce that they're releasing a limited supply of their song on vinyl. Mm-hmm. It's going to be like porn stars are going to be like, I'm releasing this, Butt Pirates 6 exclusively on VHS, and you can only buy so many of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because old school vinyls are very popular. With
very back.
People. Yeah. I mean, history always repeats itself.
Yeah.
That would be funny.
I mean, gas stations, I don't know, do gas stations even have magazine sections anymore?
I haven't seen one in a while.
We got to talk to Holiday about that.
Bring it back.
That's why you always got to keep it.
That used to be one of my favorite things at the airport. I just pick up a magazine that you don't subscribe to, and you just look through the pages for about 20 minutes, and then you just throw it away.
Yeah, or leave it in the stall for the
If you think I'm reading an article, I'm looking at it for the photos.
Hell yeah. Like a Cosmopolitan magazine.
And then, you maybe do a little check under the arm, and if it's not too good, you just take one of the perfume samples and you just rub it on your neck.
You skipped a shower that morning, just go to the magazine section.
Scratching and sniffing everyone and putting it back.
Shower.
One other thing women don't know about men is when we're just staring off into space and they ask us what we're thinking about and we say nothing, we mean it. We're not thinking about anything. We're just sitting there being quiet.
I would say 25% of the time I'm not thinking about anything.
Yeah, but when you say nothing?
Yeah, I mean, usually I'm just thinking about business stuff.
I would say 90% of the time I do say nothing, but
I am thinking about something.
Okay.
And I think it's because we say nothing because we just don't want to tell them. What
Or
we're
it's
thinking
something
about.
so weird and obscure that if you were to explain yourself, it would be like, what the fuck
Yeah,
is this
it's
guy
like-
smoking?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I'm thinking, it's kind of a fun game. I'm thinking about what a unicorn would actually look like. And then you're like, okay, well, why are you thinking about that? And you're like, because I was watching TV and I saw a horse on the TV. And then I started thinking about horses and
And then if you think about it, a horse with a horn is way more realistic than a platypus.
well,
and that
then I
exists.
started thinking about that it's weird that like other animals have horns, but horses don't. So yeah, a unicorn should make sense. And
But
then you just
basically, a moose is a horse with 2 antlers. Why couldn't there
2
just
horns,
Be,
yeah.
And it's kind of wild how you get to start thinking about something based off of like, I don't know, 10 previous events
Yeah,
that
then
led you up to that one
You
spot.
realize how stupid the thing you're thinking about
Yeah.
is. Like, how did I get here? And you have to retrace your steps.
And who wants to explain that to someone asking, hey, what are you thinking about?
Not me.
Well, if I wanted to tell you what I was thinking about, I would just think out loud.
So that's why we say nothing.
There we go. Crazy to
Jared,
think
what about you?
that men have like an insane amount of knowledge about like obscure athletes that they know about.
Yeah, like I know too many members of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Super Bowl winning team
Mhm.
with John Gruden and Brad Johnson and Mike Allstott and Rondé Barber and
Simeon
Warren
Rice.
Sapp and Derek Brooks.
Michael Pittman,
Mike Lynch,
Yeah.
John Lynch.
Or like,
You know, I just don't need to know all those people that were on there. Did they play Rich Gannon as well?
yeah,
Yep. So yeah, I should know that Rich Gannon was the Raiders quarterback
And then-
in that Super Bowl.
and then Tim Brown and Jerry Rice were the receivers on that team
Yep.
too.
Yes, they were. Yeah. It's like I should know all those players.
Right. Or like
You know?
Mewaldy Moore from the Vikings. I remember him very well.
Jesus. But at the same time, it would be like when we forget to take the garbage out, we genuinely forget to take the garbage out.
Yeah, no
I'm thinking-
kidding.
It's not. We're not trying to.
Yeah,
we're
it's
not trying to get a reaction out of that. We're just genuinely forgot.
This is a bad look for us.
Big time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keyshawn Johnson was also on that team.
Mhm.
Keenan McCardell.
Yep. Yeah, it was a whole host.
That was a great team.
I think somebody else posted this, but like half of dude conversations, you're just saying, remember this guy, and then listing a random athlete.
Yeah.
And it's like, God, he was good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. You guys remember what was his name? Peyton Hillis.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, that
Yeah.
was sick.
Wasn't he on the cover of Madden?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was one of the
Number
Madden
40
curse
for
guys.
the Browns,
Yep.
right? Why do I know? I should
Yeah, and
know that.
he had the cool like bowl or like almost
Face
looked
mask.
like a cannibal mask, you know,
With like
all the
the
lines right in front.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Why do we know that?
Yeah. I don't know why I remember that or know that. Trying to think of other weird.
Do you
sports
guys remember
facts.
Pat Neshek? Side armor for the
For the
Twins.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
You remember Eddie Gordato?
You mean every day, Eddie?
And he would, every time he would come out onto the mound, he'd stop at second base and adjust his nut cup. You guys remember that?
Kind of. Corn Robinson.
Who?
Corn Robinson. He's a
I don't remember him.
Vikings returner.
Corn?
Corin.
I don't remember him.
Yeah. I'll pull up the highlights. Todd Bauman.
What?
He played at St. Cloud State. He's the backup Vikings quarterback.
I don't remember that.
Oh,
Jesus.
Jared, your
Uh,
knowledge is too deep for this game.
Peyton Manning. You guys remember?
I remember him. Yeah, dude, he was good.
But I also know too much about Peyton Manning's life. You know, like that's the issue. It's like not just knowing Peyton Manning. It's like, oh, he went to Tennessee, which that's a whole story because his dad's an Ole Miss guy. His younger brother went to Ole Miss. It was this big deal when he didn't go to
Hey,
Ole
dare
Miss.
to be different.
Went to Tennessee.
Never beat Florida.
He loves having a nice cold Budweiser after a game. You know, it's like I don't need to know all these things.
He loved chicken parms.
Yeah.
He loves Papa John's.
He's an executive producer on all the Netflix football documentaries.
He used to, when he was hurt, he would he couldn't be out on the field because he was doing treatment. So he would wear his helmet in the hot tub so that he could hear the plays being called and the conversations from practice.
He loves the city of Omaha.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Omaha.
His helmet always leave a mark on his forehead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
The
Huge
dude couldn't
forehead.
find a helmet to fit.
you should have seen the mark his forehead left on the helmet.
That is true.
You should see
Chuck
the other
Norris.
helmet. So yeah, it's like we know way too much about these guys' lives.
Right.
But then tell me something about the 6th president of the United States.
I don't know which one that is.
Exactly.
Or what you had for supper last night.
Shit. Pizza.
I ate a
Spaghetti.
late lunch, so I didn't really eat. You know?
Yeah. We had to think about it harder than we did Peyton Manning.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, when it boils down to it, we could probably, if we sat down for another 2 hours, we could think of even more. Maybe we'll do that again some other time.
It could be the whole episode.
But ladies, don't take us at face value. We got some stuff behind the scenes that you don't necessarily know about it. So, luckily though, we gave you some to go home with today. So at the end of the day, Ryan, if Ryan's in there for a half hour, he's doing stuff the
Mhm.
whole time.
I'm being productive.
He
for a
needs that
hour.
half hour.
Yeah.
He's not playing one of those games that shows up in your Instagram story that you got to swipe back and forth and shoot the guns at the
Run down a
enemies.
bridge.
Yeah, run down a bridge. You know, he's not
Right.
playing Temple Run
Yeah.
or Candy Crush. He's pooping. He do be pooping.
Or checking eBay or something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Itself.
Should we take a break?
We should.
Yeah.
Ryan,
Yep.
you know who one of my favorite country artists is?
Who?
Jimmy Buffett.
Okay.
Ah.
R.I.P.
Rest in peace.
The legend. You guys know I like him.
Mhm.
Love you,
I like
buddy.
what he does. You know what's one of my favorite songs that he has?
Margaritaville.
Margaritaville.
Yes. Then a close number 2 is what?
Can I guess?
Yeah.
Is it Cheeseburger in Paradise?
Yes. Cheeseburger in Paradise. And you know why I love that song?
Because you could live that.
Because it just reminds me of every time I go to holiday gas stations and I pick up a cheeseburger square wrap. You get that? Nice. It is quite literally, if I go to Holiday, I get a cheeseburger square wrap, I'm quite literally eating a cheeseburger in paradise.
I mean, it's quite literally a wrap after that.
Yeah,
It's a wrap.
It's a cheeseburger and wrap combined.
Yeah. I mean, what's more paradise than that? Like, if you're like, you know how they do exercises of trying to relax? Close your eyes and pretend you're on a beach, you know, in paradise. I just close my eyes and I'm standing in the aisle at Holiday eating a cheeseburger square wrap.
And then you just bring the wrapper to the counter and say, hey, I already ate this, but here's the wrapper to scan it in.
Also, round cheeseburgers are so like 1990s.
And so
Yeah.
are buns.
Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
Get those buns out of here.
Yeah.
Get me a tortilla.
Figuratively
in-
square.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so don't be a square.
Yeah. Circles
Buy a
are the new
square.
squares.
Yeah. So it's just, it couldn't have lined up better for me that they had the cheeseburger square wraps, considering that Cheeseburger in Paradise is my second favorite Jimmy Buffett song.
Well, and who knew you could fit a round burger into a square wrap?
So where does 5 o'clock
You know?
somewhere rate? Is that 3 then?
5.
Hey.
It's number 1 somewhere.
Okay.
For someone.
No, I guess that's good.
But it's just not very often that you can experience a cheeseburger in paradise here in Fargo, North Dakota.
No.
And I do that every time I go to Holiday and get a cheeseburger square wrap. So guys, if you'd like to have a cheeseburger in paradise, if you'd like to have a cheeseburger square wrap in paradise, you got to go to Holiday gas stations. They got them hot and they got them heavy. All right, Jarrett, Jarek, Gerent. You got some questions for us?
Polyap?
Jerlup?
Jer Bear,
Jerup?
Jeragonia.
Polyester. I'm thinking about changing.
I like that one because it's clean.
Mhm.
It's clever
know?
too.
Yeah.
It's clever and clean.
Polyester.
Fabric connoisseur.
Oh.
I'm thinking about changing my chocolate chip cookie recipe to include something unique but flavorful. What should I add to them?
Brown sugar.
I
don't know. Do you put brown sugar in cookies?
think it's already in there.
Damn it.
Not in chocolate chips. It's not.
Yeah, that might be a good one to try out.
I think they're asking more like M&Ms or something, right? Or could be something as simple as a sugar change.
Something unique.
Well, I think it's just like anything, right? Secret ingredient. Just add a dash of something, right?
Dash of love.
Yeah, love.
Close your eyes, go into the spice cabinet, grab something, and put a dash.
Just like the tiniest emerald dash on it.
I love.
Who didn't remember emerald?
Tyler.
Yeah, I didn't. I've never heard of them.
Guys, you got to listen to Tyler's huge blunder not knowing who Emerald the chef was on the last Patreon episode. You got to go patreon.com/betradio. Check it out. Bam!
Oh, geez.
Just a dash.
Yeah.
Just a dash.
Just a sprinkle.
Just some onion powder ends up in your chocolate chip cookie.
You never know.
You never know.
I guess there is salt in there.
It's kind of like on the movie Holes when he accidentally discovers the recipe for his thing that makes shoes not
Which is
smell.
just peaches and onions.
Didn't he like accidentally dump something in there?
So they find the jars of peaches in the boat, and then they go up on the mountain. They get the onions, and then they combine, and then it's sploosh.
No, but that just breaks the curse, and then his grandpa or his dad accidentally like drops something in the thing.
It's peaches and onions.
I can fix that.
I'm a big holes
Tough,
guy. He
yeah.
breaks the curse by carrying Hector's Roni up the mountain.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Spoiler. Fucking
Sorry.
alert.
Shit.
Is there any holes in the script, or is it pretty?
No, it's pretty.
ironclad?
It's ironclad, dude.
Be very ironic. But they could play it off pretty good.
The only minor hole might be they survived on 150-year-old canned peaches.
It was preserved.
Yep.
What were we talking about?
Cookies.
Oh,
Looking for a way to sweeten up or spicing up what
Unique but flavorful.
unique but flavorful.
Okay, here's an idea for you. Someone else has done this. Holiday gas station, actually. Those little teeny tiny baby Reese's cups. Swap those M&Ms or the chocolate chips out for those.
I don't know if that's unique though.
it's not really
kinda unique.
It's just peanut butter and chocolate, Tyler.
Yeah, but it's a completely brand new cookie. Except for holiday.
Throw some everything bagel seasoning on top.
Ooh.
There you go.
You know, or some sesame seeds might be kind of.
I might actually get on board with that one.
It could be a little healthier too. I don't know. I feel like there's some sort sesame seeds hold something that you don't always get.
Ooh, make a poppy seed chocolate chip cookie.
Mm-hmm. I'm here for this.
That might be okay.
But don't have a drug test coming up.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and I was
Because
gonna
you're
say,
going to eat 1,000 of them when
Yeah.
we make this.
if you got some keef left over too, you could do some OG, some strawberry yum yum
You wouldn't
keef.
know.
Yeah, here's an
Well,
ingredient.
my buddies
Add
were
can of
always-
butter.
I was like, hey, my buddy would be he was making cookies 2-3 times a week. I'm like, are you fucking eating all these? Or
You
and he's
started
like,
a
no, I'm
business?
giving them away to friends at school. I'm like, Jesus.
Nice guy.
Great guy, yeah. You'd be a great neighbor.
Always smiling and laughing.
So strawberry OG Kush keef.
Chocolate chip cookies. It rolls off the tongue, too.
I mean, if you really want a unique sense of taste and spicing things up, that's a great way to do it.
You could also take strawberry jam, mix that in there. I don't know. That would-
Yeah, you could do a little filler. Maybe you could fill it with
Yeah,
some-
like a
donut.
like a fucking cream filled Bismarck donut. Is that what they're called? Bismarcks?
Bismarck's, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Our cream filled Bavarian cream.
Yeah, but
Yeah, that's what it was. Bavarian cream filled Bismarck cookie.
yeah, those Bavarians be busy though.
Why is there no such thing as donut cookies? Like, why don't they, you know how like waffles and pancakes are basically the same except for like one thing?
Yeah, would that be kind of like a scone? Donut
kinda.
cookie?
Fuck, scones are good.
Scones are so good.
Wait, why is not enough people getting sconed these days?
I get every time I go to a coffee shop, I get one.
nice.
But they're like they're $4.55. Worth it majority of the time, but you know, inflation, I suppose.
You're not giving away scones these
No,
days.
God, no.
Muhammad have to fart. Between the two newborns, which one is going to win? You betcha good kid of the week first.
I think Miles' kid already won.
Yeah, what did he do?
One,
Try to keep track.
Survived.
I think that's what it was.
No, he did. No, he did already win.
He did, yeah.
Yeah, what was it for again?
So much greatness.
It's just,
That's
because he had one best hairdo in the NICU.
Oh, yeah.
Is that one?
Yeah. Best hair.
So yeah, he's got a cone with his name on it already. So I think my kid already took that crown.
Couple weeks too. Solid Foods probably started him on.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, you introduce him to, some not so solid
Some
foods.
purees.
Yeah, ice cream.
Yeah.
Cream puree.
Yeah,
Puree. In ice form.
iced cream purees.
Yeah. Anyways. So I would do that.
Fuck, back to the ice cream or the chocolate chip cookie thing. You could put some ice cream on top of it and then put another cookie
on top.
underneath and make like
That would
Like
never work.
a
You don't think
kind
so?
of
No.
kind of like the cheeseburger square wrap, but in cookie form.
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no way that'd work. I don't know this name. Rigatoni Haktua asks.
What's first name?
Rigatoni.
Oh, okay.
Middle name Hawk. Fornicate, assassinate, elope. I think these are, shoot a 150-inch whitetail, reel in a 30-inch walleye, or 30-inch walleye, and shoot a rooster with a 28-inch tail feather that your highly appreciated dog flushed for you.
Well, that's the only way you're gonna find that type of rooster is having a highly appreciated dog.
I'm killing that one. Fuck dogs.
Well, technically, I found a loophole. You're killing all three of these.
Oh, assassinating.
Oh
You're
yeah.
assassinating all three.
Mm-hmm.
Nice try, Hawktua. Nice try. You tried to stump us.
He did, yeah.
I'm gonna assassinate all three.
Perfect.
Next question.
Next cue.
Jared, not Jared, asks, how early is it acceptable to get your son into working concrete?
What's the? Yeah, okay.
I mean, you'd be walking what?
So the way you do it is you start with, my first introduction to working concrete was going with my dad to stake out the lot before they dug the hole. So it's not like you're around like sharp metal rebar and, all that. You just ease them into the initial stages. Just have them follow you around as you're staking out a lot for the excavator to do that with a bundle of stakes. That's literally was my job. I just walked around like this holding stakes. And then eventually we got that all done. He was finishing stuff up. I'd go play on the dirt hills, really get you into it. And then after that, probably as soon as you're comfortable with your kid learning every swear word in the book to actually get them on the job site, that's when you can probably start.
Here's a question. What's the easiest job on a job site?
Concrete or in general?
Concrete, yeah.
Being the foreman. Being the guy
Clip
running
that,
the
send
boom.
it to his dad.
Yeah. Be the guy running the boom truck, just sitting on the thing all day, just going like
That's a
this,
good one. That's a
pulling
good
the
one.
levers,
It's a good one.
pinkies out.
Requires some little bit of skill though. You gotta have skill to learn. Like, is it like picking up nails? Or
Well, what's the question again? Easiest or the least skilled?
let's go least skilled.
Well, then it's just all of the grunt work, shoveling, breaking ties, carrying stuff, when they're pouring the wall, pounding it so there's no air pockets in it. It's just all those. Actually, the lowest man on the totem pole used to have to, they're on the bottom of the forms, we'd have plates on the bottom so it wouldn't slide out. But after you get the concrete set, while you're pouring, you pull those off, and it's the dirtiest pour job. So,
Mike Rowe.
Yep. Mike Rowe probably did it on one of his episodes.
Gotta see that.
And then because it was always the lowest guy on totem pole, so the guy standing on top of the wall pouring the concrete in the top of the forms once in a while would slip. And then concrete would go because you'd be basically right there and cover the guy in concrete. Classic.
How long do you have to like wash that off before it dries and like fucks your skin up?
I mean, I would never wear gloves, so like I would just throw concrete. Right, it's not that bad. Like, I don't know, chemical concrete burn.
No, I'm just saying like till I have a piece of concrete and it rips my skin off. Is that not how it works?
No, it works.
Okay.
No, because if it dries, you just actually just rub it and it like comes a powder almost.
Mm.
I mean, if you kept it there long enough, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like a year or two.
Yeah.
When
3 weeks, it's fully cured.
when we would do hot tar roofs, if you get it on your skin, your instinct is to wipe it, but you're just supposed to let it burn. So it only burned one spot because if you'd wipe, it would burn everywhere you wiped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like that.
Okay.
At least not my case.
That's probably good.
Will he be hard again? Stump Ryan.
Bring it.
Leave your kid for a year or leave your wife for a year?
This is, I mean,
This one's gotta be easy.
it's not this isn't a FEA.
Just stump
That
Ryan.
is true. It was
There are no rules when it comes to stumping Ryan.
Yeah, you just need to stump him.
I mean,
This one,
you got
this
one.
one's easy.
Come on, Ryan.
Probably leave my kid for a year. Is that
Not
the
what
answer?
I guessed.
Really?
Yeah.
Actually,
But my wife is the one who there's two sides to creating a
Wait,
kid. There's
really?
me and there's my wife.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
I mean, at this point in my life, if something goes down, my wife is chopped liver compared to my kid.
Right.
Really?
I'm fully on board with this.
I mean,
Ann would agree. If something bad is going and I had to save my kid or my wife, I'm saving my kid.
I think it's all situational too. Like you just leave one of them for a year.
Plus, Ann, like, she can handle herself for a year. My kid
Yeah.
is going to be wandering around without me.
Yeah, there's got to be more in terms of leaving. There's got to be more context. Because am I just like sending him out the door
No,
and
you're
saying
just leaving.
You're just leaving.
with my wife though, or with my kid?
Yeah.
'Cause, I mean, if you're just leaving and you just leave your kid, your wife's going to stay with him. So I get where you're coming from. Is that's what you're thinking, right? And you still get to hang out with your wife, but not your kid.
That's why
I'm
we need
just
more.
trying- I'm
That's
trying
why no, I know that's why we need more context. Because I like if I leave with my wife, then where does my kid go?
It's a hypothetical.
I mean, I gotta go with my wife, to be honest. Love my kid to death, but hey, there's
Yeah, I did not. I thought that was a shoe.
Me too.
there's a partnership here.
Huh?
Yeah.
All right,
that.
this just in. T-shirt guy loves his wife more than his own kid.
Till death do you part, or whatever it is.
Said the vow.
Yeah.
We didn't say vows in the hospital.
That is true.
You did sign a piece
you don't vow to your kid, I suppose.
You legally sign up for 18 years of them. Which
What did I sign for that? What
Yeah.
document was that?
is part of the marriage license, I think.
Oh wow.
You
The
agree-
marriage license?
Yeah, once you're legally married, if she has a kid, you're responsible for it for 18 years.
I didn't read the marriage license.
We don't.
I think it's just a one sheeter, isn't it?
That's just how it works legally.
Because
I'm an ordained minister and I don't-
wandering into the weeds
Yeah.
right now, guys. I don't think it's that big of a deal. It's just Ryan.
Not stumped yet.
No, that one only took me about 8.5 seconds to respond to, so no stump.
Like riding a bull.
You guys are going with leaving.
Kids. Yeah, sorry, honey.
I'll leave my. Oh,
Interesting.
I would
I'll with you, Ryan.
like to think, yeah, with your kids.
Yeah.
I would like to think my wife would choose the same.
Yep.
Again, it's hypothetical.
Yeah.
And
Okay, let's do non-hypothetical. Let's do real world.
okay, yeah, give me
real world. Leave your wife for a year or your kid for a year.
So then, do we come back after a year and like?
Yes.
Presumably.
Yeah, we'll just say yes on that.
I'm leaving my kid, dude.
All right.
A whole year, though.
I mean, you could say that for both sides, though.
Yeah, your wife's not going to change that much in a year.
All
Your
I know
kid's
is
gonna
like,
be-
So if you go
I
out-
haven't left my kid for very long yet, but every person I know that has a kid, they go on like a weekend vacation or like they're gone for work. They're always like, I got to get home. I miss my kids.
Yep.
I've never heard anyone go, I got to get home. I miss my wife. You know?
No, I get that. But you might be on vacation with your wife, though. That's the thing.
Well, you would be in this scenario.
Correct. Yeah. No one's on board with me here.
Nah, I am not at all.
What are you gonna
really.
jerk off for a year straight or what? Because if you go bang another chick, that's cheating.
Yeah, well, I guess I'm going to jerk off for a year.
JJO, dude. Just jerk off.
I went a lot of years just jerking off before I finally got laid.
Yeah.
That is true.
First 26 years of my life. Another 10.
First 12 years of my life, I was just jerking off. All right. Hey, didn't stump Ryan? Ryan's answer is kind of stumping me here a little bit.
Flip the script on you, sons of bitches.
2 post-it note facts.
Oh, yeah.
Mm.
Okay, we got some sticky facts.
Mm-hmm. They're not that good.
Are they sticky though?
Yeah, they're fine. The very first post-it hit the store shelves in 1980. So
Was that a question or was that?
I know that happened.
Because it sounded like you were asking me a question. Kind of went up at the
You
end.
did inflect at the end.
Well, my fucking
No.
bad.
All right, I got distracted by the question. Can you read me the fact?
A post-it note weathered a flight from Las Vegas to Minneapolis on the nose of the plane. It endured speeds of 500 miles per hour and temperatures as low as negative 56 degrees Fahrenheit.
Holy
I mean,
shit.
talk about there's no better.
Stickiness.
There's no that one that's really sticky, and two, there's no better advertisement for post-it.
That's
note.
way cooler than like the people pulling the planes with a pickup. I want to see the sticky note on the front of the plane.
Yeah.
But like, is it that impressive though? Because the wind is like pushing it into the plane.
You're asking too many questions.
Did you look that up? I mean, did you look at?
What was the first fact too, by the way?
The very first post-it hit the store shelves in 1980.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that feels right.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, in the 70s, they were too busy trying to get to the moon to really improve
They got
the
there by
paper
then.
industry.
60s, they were trying to get to the moon.
Well, 69. They were 70s, they were still doing it.
Mm.
Right?
That's true.
69, we got to the moon, and then they were doing all the other missions after that. So, whatever.
Yeah, trying to get back to the moon.
It was 60s and 70s.
1 year of the 60s.
And then I saw another one. The reason why post-it notes are usually yellow is because the inventor, that's the only paper he had on him, was like yellow paper.
Oh.
Was another one I found.
They make a lot of colors now.
Oh, yeah.
They do.
Yeah.
I would like to see post-it notes be manufactured.
Like how
Sure
they
you can take
do
a
it.
road trip.
Yeah,
like-
do
and
you
like-
guys
like-
remember the show How It's Made?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That was an awesome show.
it was great. You remember how Cheez-Its are made?
It's just
Just
cheese
cheddar.
that's
It's just
baked.
Baked cheese.
They should do
I had
it.
a buddy named Cheese. Fucker is baked all the time.
Called him Cheese It because he was baked.
It would be cool though to see a video of imagine like the stacks of post-it notes. That's what I can about imagine. And then there's got to
How's
be
it
some
go?
sort of brush.
Yeah,
There's got to be some sort of brush in the.
How do they do it? What comes? Do they start in a stack? Because how do they get the stickiness and then
Well,
get them perfectly lined up?
They have to glue each piece of paper first because it's sticky in between there. They can't stack it and then glue it, can they?
No.
So
Can we-
they just dip the ends in glue.
They
and
got
it
or
goes-
like a roller
but the
situation.
Well,
top-
it's got to be a roller because
Yeah.
it's only one side.
But so they roll one and then perfectly line them up.
Well, that's the thing. They have a machine to do it that perfectly lines them
Yeah.
up, which is why I
All
mean,
right, how sticky notes are made. You have to watch a Duluth Trading Company ad.
I got volume here.
Okay.
Let me introduce you to the machine that makes sticky notes. This is the roll paper gluing machine. So what it does is it applies glue to rolled paper by first applying silicone to your rolled paper and then process it into the glue application compartment. Re-rolls it again back into the oven by drying up the glue and silicone and rolled back into this session. When the glue is applied, the paper is, as I said earlier, rolled into this section.
Then they cut it in one spot and then they fold it open and then
The next step is the automatic
He'll
cutting
tell
machine,
us.
which processes re-rolled glued paper by cutting them into sheets of your own size. Or you can choose the sheet gluing machine, which applies glue and silicone simultaneously to already printed paper. The paper is then dried up through the oven and finally collected manually at the exit.
Why are they wearing those masks? Jabberwocky masks.
okay, then
The next step is the press machine. After glue and silicone is applied to the paper is then transported to the press machine, which compresses the glued part of the paper, giving it a firm grip. After the press machine, the compressed paper is then transferred to the paper cutter. This machine cuts any type of paper into small or big rectangular sizes according to what you want.
they didn't let him run that machine.
Little house.
So yeah, they glue it, then they stack it on top of each other, press it together, then they cut it.
A punching machine which molds square shapes into any type of shapes of your choice.
Oh, this is how you get the fancy shit.
Oh yeah, like the thumbs. We got thumbs up ones at
Yeah.
my house.
Look at that. That's satisfying. Oh, it's a heart.
This could be your final preferred shape.
That's how it works.
For more information about our machine, contact us on www.
Don't give him a free ad. Don't give him a free ad.
Guys, we buried the lead. There's gorgeous Ukrainian women online right
Ooh.
now.
Who
Click
was
on it.
searching stuff before on this computer?
That was me.
Shameless.
Not as cool as I thought.
I mean
it would
but that answers my question. They stick it together first, then just
Mhm.
cut around
In
it.
Yeah.
giant sheets.
But still doesn't really. Do they just don't worry about it being exact on the edges because they cut off
Because
the
then they cut it
excess?
perfect
okay,
after.
that makes sense. I was gonna say because they didn't look very flush.
Tell you what, those guys they figured it out. Pretty cool.
It's a
What-
lot of machinery to make one.
One little stupid
one
sticky note.
It's like
Yeah.
8 steps.
Yeah, it's ridiculous actually.
All right. That's our sticky facts for the day.
Mhm.
Does anyone want any others types of facts?
Yeah, throw a noun out there.
I'd like wet facts.
Okay.
Oh, that's
Going
good.
sticky to wet.
Okay.
Usually wet comes before sticky, but we're doing it
Yeah,
up
we're doing
for
after.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and then the week after, let's do hard facts.
Yeah, and then after that, stinky.
Okay.
Yep.
So wet, hard, sticky. Got
Wet, hard, stinky.
it.
Well, guys, thanks for tuning in to an episode of You Betcha Radio podcast. May your post-it notes be sticky, not wet. And your poops take 20 minutes long. Cheers,
They
Ryan.
will.
Oh, you betcha, yeah.
Yeah.